This is important to me because I think the children are our future. The future is what we make it, and that depends on how we make our children. And so, with that being said, we have to think about all the things that's going on. And right now, there's a thing I've seen that I've been pondering about making an episode about here of, teachers pretty much trying to keep things away from the parents when it comes to the children. Mostly the transgender issue. They want to make kids that are transgender not be able to talk to their parents, or kids that they want to be transgender not tell their parents that they're turning transgender. So it's just an issue where I'm not versed in, not understanding, because I'm not understanding that part of the world. But I do believe parents have the rights to know what the hell's going on with their children at any point in time. So what we got here is a short news broadcast by CBS News, and what they're going to be talking about is exactly that. They're talking about parents outraged after kindergarten teacher discussed gender identity. And so that's what this video is about. So we're going to get into it, and I'm just going to, do my little review question. You know what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about it.
California kindergarten teacher is facing outrage after discussing gender identity with her students. One child came to the teacher with books on the subject while going through a gender transition. Now the teacher is defending herself. Sharon Roget from CBS station KOVR in Sacramento has the story.
And what I will share over and over again is how proud I was of my students.
An emotional Rockland Academy teacher addressing a packed house of parents, many furious about her decision to discuss the topic of gender identity inside her kindergarten class.
Now, firstly, I'm going to pause it because, to me, that's a big issue. We're talking like kindergartners are like, 5, maybe 6. I don't remember so long ago, and I remember being like taller than the kids in kindergarten, and even though I was a midget. It makes no sense. But, even thinking about it sounds funny, but it's the truth. So I don't remember how old I was back in kindergarten. Y'all knows. Plus, I started off in religious schools like Catholic and Protestant first, and then when I went to public schools, like a bomb went off when I was in World War II, because public school sucks, and it's actually kind of brutal, mean, and cruel. Believe it or not, even though the only thing I experienced messed up in Catholic school or Protestant or whatever was I used to be left-handed. Now I'm ambidextrous. So they kept smacking my hand until I was able to use my right hand a certain way. So that was the only thing. But other than that, public school sucks. They make fun of everything you do. Teachers are always trying to belittle you if they think you're stupid or whatever little period the teachers have, and they put it on the kids. There's bullies that think they're the crap, and you knock the hell out of them, and they do this whole disrespect thing in a different way. It's nothing like the freaking movies. It sucks and it's stupid. And if it was more like the movies and things, it'd probably be cooler, because we watched the movie, we learned a lesson, we know how to maneuver our way through school because we saw the movie. But anyway, none of that had anything to do with anything. My point, I went way off topic. My point is this, okay, so this is wrong. The kids hasn't developed their brain yet. This is the whole point of taking kids to kindergarten is so they can get used to starting to learn, understand how memory works when it comes to certain things, understand how to be more active with other people, sociable, as well as creative and inventive. And so when you're teaching kids at an early age this nonsense, it's like you're warping their minds to believe something that they haven't even understood yet. They haven't understood the difference between men and women, how we need each other to populate, and things like that. So to start talking about changing your gender to like you're a reptile or some amphibian or some crazy nonsense, it's pretty outrageous. So this woman's really, outrageous for doing this.
Never my intent to harm any students, only to support them through the difficult situation.
The teacher defended her action. directions to read 2 books she says were given to her by a transgender child going through a transition.
The kindergartners came home very confused about whether or not you can pick your gender, whether or not they really were a boy or a girl.
Parents say besides the books, the transgender student at some point during class also changed clothes and was revealed as her true gender. And many parents say they feel betrayed and blindsided.
So what was that? The kid setting the teacher up, it's like an actor kid that came in and said, okay, I'm transgender, and now I'm a girl or whatever. It doesn't make any damn sense. It's just so retarded. It just doesn't make sense. You're going to teach little kids to switch their gender for what reason? What purpose does that serve? And then whoever the parent is, that it should be alarming to anybody that this kid is already becoming a transgender based off the fact that their parents think they don't like the kid's gender the way it is. Like me personally, if I was to have a kid and the kid's a boy or a girl, I won't be happy just to have a kid, because hell, I probably thought I was never going to populate or spread my DNA to the next generation and maybe come back reincarnated through my own bloodline. But, teach his own. You can't be happy with what you got, and they don't appreciate what they have. And that's a problem in America right now. People don't appreciate what they got. They want the new thing, they want the biggest thing, the baddest thing. They're not happy with what they got. They don't know how to appreciate it. They don't know how to just accept what they have and be satisfied. They don't know how to do that. And so this is why everyone needs a new Xbox, a new PlayStation, a new girls need a new dress, a new bag, a new style, a new music is out. But then you get tired of it and you move on and you want something else. And it's the same thing with houses, cars, and everything. You want the new this, you want the new that. But just be happy with what you got. Some people don't have a car. Some people don't have a house. Some people don't have any video game system at all. So just to have one of anything is a blessing. It's to be able to accept it and appreciate it for what it is. And when I'm saying that goes exactly with this thing, with the gender thing. Just be happy you got a kid. If it's a boy or a girl, who cares? Just love that kid and try to express as much knowledge as you can. But in this situation, everybody's wrong.
Her to hear from me as a parent what her gender identity means to her and to our family. Not from a book that may be controversial. My daughter went home crying, shaking, so afraid that she could turn into a boy.
The issue was not on the agenda, so parents spoke out during Monday.
Okay, that's wrong. I shouldn't be laughing, but that's funny. The little girl was afraid she gonna turn into a boy. Oh man, kids got some funny imaginations. But then again, the adults put that crap in their head. So yes, the little girl probably is gonna be afraid she's gonna turn into a boy. Some kind of weird werewolf mutation. I don't know.
Monday night's public comment.
It's really about the parents being informed and involved, and giving us the choice and the rights about what's getting introduced to our kids and at what age.
Many teachers also speaking out in support of what transpired inside the classroom on the last days of the academic year.
Head in the direction of banned books or book lists or selected literature that should only be read inside or outside of the classroom. I think that that's a very dangerous direction to go.
So that's the clip. That's that clip right there. And the whole thing is just very questionable. They're saying they gotta figure out how they're gonna teach the kids or what they should learn in the classroom. It's just all bad. Okay, so now we got a clip. It's across the pond type of clip. These people were talking about the same scenario. Teachers told to hide students pronouns and gender identity. This is what they're talking about here. And this is some Stein news, whatever that is. And so what they're talking about here is the same thing, except for teachers hiding the whole fact that the kid is transgender from the parent. Now, that could be a manipulated transgender where the teacher teach them that they should be, or just randomly pick a kid and go, okay, you're a boy now to a girl, or vice versa to a little boy. And for what reason is that? Just to ruin their life. You don't like the kid, so now you made the kid change the gender to make the whole life even more difficult and confusing. And that's probably not the scenario that's going to happen here. It's probably some other weird nonsense, but let's just take a quick look.
Now, how much of a role should parents play in their own child's life? Well, Queensland state teachers were told that according to the Human Rights Act, they don't need to be told everything that happens in the classroom.
So I have to pause it there because it sounds like she's full of it. Kids have to be, monitored pretty much, but at the same time, parents have to know what's going on with their child. It's the whole purpose of having a child. You can't just say you're gonna have a kid and they can do whatever the hell they want. You're not gonna raise them. You're gonna try to let them fend for themselves. Because if that's the case, then you wouldn't be a parent. You wouldn't be a guardian or anything like that. By becoming one, you're saying you're protecting this kid. You're involved with the development of this child, and you're interested in the future and prolonging your family. And so that's the point of having a child. Now, the point of not telling a parent about what's going on with the child means you're trying to take the kid away from the parent to change the kid's point of view on how they should think without the parent. It's just all back ass. Anyway, like I said, this is across the pond. You can hear by their accents that they're speaking quite British.
That's what was said in a leaked email to teachers. This is obtained by the Courier Mail today, where they were told that according to the Human Rights Act, they should keep pupils' preferred names, pronouns, and gender identities a secret from their parents. I mean, this is the sort of stuff that's happening in the United States. It's really quite disturbing that we're seeing this now in Queensland as well.
So it didn't reach all the way across the pond. And everyone over there is called quite bonkers. They're completely mad. They lost their mind. They missed their marbles. No, I said it all backwards. But anyway, so the whole point of this is that they're bonkers. They're completely mad. They're going wacky. Anyway, I don't know why I keep speaking British, but the whole thing is just that this is wrong. And even she's saying it's wrong, and it came from America. And so it came from America, and now you're going over to another country, and you're trying to convince these people the same thing. The thing is that America and Britain is pretty much the same, except for one's got a monarchy and the other one doesn't. And it's not even a real monarchy because there's Parliament that runs Great Britain, which is just like a Congress here in the United States of America. So the difference is that they're just in different areas. There's really no difference. But the fact that teachers can hide whatever they want to teach the kid is something really messed up. They can even go to beyond that to sexual abuse or something like that, or anything that might be very negative. So I think parents have to be way more involved, and I don't even know how they go about it. I mean, to me, honestly, I would believe with a situation like this that homeschooling makes more sense, or alternative school. And I think holy crap, man. Jesus Christ. What was that about? Okay, so I have no idea what that was all about. Some stupid thing outside. But, yeah, there need to be alternative schools. There need to be new options to give children education. New options that don't just be on the internet, because that's not good either. But new options where kids can learn, grow, and actually be part of the world. If anything, it should be like scout leaders, and kids get to walk around in a group, going to explore certain things, and maybe have 3 or 4 adults there to make sure all kids stay around each other, if that's the thing. And then on top of that, yeah, they go to the library. And that way to eliminate the school buildings, probably. I don't know. But this just sounds really demented in a way.
Joining me is esteemed educator and academic Dr. Kevin Donnelly. Great to have you on the program, Kevin. What do you think about this? This would be such a shock to so many parents to hear that in regular Queensland public schools, teachers are talking about not telling parents if a child wants to change their gender. That's what's at the heart of this.
It It is, Shari, and it's appalling. I mean, it really is an indictment of what has been a campaign for many years now by what I call the cultural left to really get into schools and get into the curriculum with an agenda that began with Safe Schools, which was all about promoting, affirming that LGBTQI plus lifestyle. And it gets to a point, well, it's got to a point now, as you've said, where in Queensland, parents are not to be told if their children want to transition or are talking about it at school. And the other point I'd like to make is, if you look at the Commonwealth Government, they have a wellbeing site, and if you look at the materials on that site, it actually says the same thing, that parents need not be told if, say, a young child, 12 or 10 or 12, wants to become transgender. Schools do not have a duty of care to tell parents. It's shocking. Parents are their primary caregivers, their primary educators, so schools have no right to do that.
So, in fairness of what he's saying, he's trying to, it's like a little play on words, because a minute ago he said if kids want to change their gender or if taught about it in school. So then he changes it and says, well, if kids want to be decide they want to change their gender, they have no right to tell their parents or something like that. So the thing about it is, none of it's right. None of it's right at all. Kids have to figure out the world for themselves and like what they like. You gotta automatically just start liking whatever it is you like. Like me, I just started liking boobies. I like women. So it's just the way to go. It's just, why not? But when it comes to something like this, it's just really more of an I want to say manipulation of children's minds. It's more of a brainwashing tactic, and the purpose to me always goes back to, of course, trying to distinguish the human race, to trying to downplay our species, and to make it so we're not appealing to the opposite sex or whatever. I think the whole thing is to try to brainwash people, and the best way to do it is to start when they're young, I guess, in their minds, because why would you even bother teaching this stuff in school? It makes no sense. There's no point, That's the time where, hell, most people are getting together with their mate is in school, because a lot of people hook up that way. So it just really makes things beyond confusing, but it makes it really complicated for the individual in life, because they have to run around now with some identity that they chose when they were a kid, and it might not have been their identity. And it gets even worse when they start mutilating their body to try to fit some identity thing that they created when they were a child, and then their body's not healthy, and then they start to kill themselves and things like that. And I mean, there's lots of stories like that. You hear it all the time in all types of places when it comes to this type of thing. I'm just saying, be confident in who you are, be who you are, and like what you like, but don't be forced into something that you don't want to do. And that's how a lot of us go wrong, is we try to be friends with people, and we like that friend for whatever reason, or we like the way things are going with certain people for whatever reason, when none of it goes right, none of it is right, and yet we fall for it because we want to avoid the boredom, the loneliness or whatever, or we need somebody to have a support to make us feel special, And if you're able to avoid all that and be able to do things on your own, to me, that's a strong individual. That's a person that doesn't need a lot of backup and comfort and stuff. But that's an individual that's an adult. And so when you come to these kids things, that they're not at that level yet. So to tell them that they need to change their gender, and then not to tell their parents that are, like he said, their main educator, their main provider, then you're stopping the natural order of things, and you are a villain. So in so many ways, these teachers are supervillains. Yes.
I just think it's absolutely disgraceful. Can you imagine being a mother of a young child, as you say, 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever age the child really, if they're at school, and not being allowed to know if they're going by a different name in the classroom or different pronoun? How is this allowed to happen?
It is. Well, as I said, it's been going on for a long time. There was the Safe Schools program I mentioned. It began in Victoria about 10 years ago. It did go national, and Liberal and Labor governments, state and federal, supported it. Well, it's going a step further, but really you've got this underpinning now where in primary school, for example, even kindergarten, if you look at the guidelines, children are told boys can be girls, girls can be boys, that you have to use gender-neutral, non-binary pronouns, and even if you look at the kind of children's books that are being used. Now, I've got no problem with young kids wanting to be gay or lesbian, but really what we have now is a concerted campaign in schools, primary and secondary as I mentioned, to actually overturn the whole idea of heterosexuality, boys are boys, girls and girls, because that's attacked as heteronormative and cisgender. So that...
Listen to these words, I'm blown away by everything I'm hearing right here. This guy is just like, wow. Heteronormacy, or however you put that drives me nuts. What the hell? And cisgenders and all this, what the hell is he talking about? It's just natural order of things. Men and women are supposed to be together. We're supposed to mate. We're supposed to make babies. What the hell is this? All this crap and attack on heterosexual. Okay, I don't understand that. That's the thing that bothers me with this whole LGBT or whatever the hell it's called, and the transgender crap. It's all like, what the hell? You're just gonna attack normal heterosexuality. If it wasn't for the natural order of heterosexuality, then none of us would be here, including these idiots that want to go around convincing people that their genders can be changed like we're some kind of, quadruped or some weird ass, alien species that can just change into whatever, like an octopus or what is it, a starfish, some animal that changes their gender naturally. Okay, this is stupid. It's beyond stupid. When you start to, it's just so weird because not so long ago it was wrong and it couldn't have been accepted. None of this stuff would be accepted, and you couldn't convince a normal person that, you can change your gender and stuff, because it just doesn't sound normal. It doesn't sound rational. It doesn't sound logical. It's insane to think some stupid shit like that. But now it's a thing where it's supposed to be taken and accepted, and you're wrong if you disagree with that. But that makes no sense. Those people that believe in it and say all this stuff were born because of heterosexual engagement between a man and a woman, not a man that became a woman and vice versa. Okay, it doesn't make sense, and it just doesn't sound right, and it's just the oddest crap. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. Just none of it seems logical, and I can go on. There's probably like a couple seconds left of this, 7 seconds I think, but it's like, what's the point of even bothering to convince people something that's illogical and irrational? This doesn't make sense. But the attack on heterosexuality is the stupidest crap. It's like, and I see this a lot, and most people probably don't think of this, but to me it's like they're trying to replace the natural order of heterosexuality with homosexuality or mutations. Because let's just be real, this gender crap is mutating yourself into some other hybrid creature that's half man, half woman, and on the whole thing, you're still a man, you're still a woman. Even though some women look like men, it's because they got more of their father's DNA or something like that. It's just a natural thing with replicating DNA. Sometimes you look more like the strongest strand of DNA that's inside you. So, wow, I'm just blown away by that. To me, it just really sounds like that's what they're trying to do, is get rid of heterosexuality and make it seem wrong. What's the purpose of that, though? The purpose of all this, to me, when it comes to the alphabet thing, and because people say the alphabet people, I don't know how to say it. I always mess it up, LGBTQ or whatever. Okay, maybe I got it right that time. But, okay, the thing is, it just seems so odd that they would force that down your throat, and then on top of that, make you want to believe that heterosexuality is wrong. And the thing that makes it so weird is, to me, and why they put it out there, is because they want to get rid of populating people that are poor, that are middle class, or was middle class, because now Trump and people like Biden say that they're middle class. So just poor people, period. All of us peasants, okay, American people and whatnot. We're trying to eliminate people from being able to stand up to fight against whatever that they may bring. And I believe this strongly, because we used to have guys that try to be the top dog, the tough guy, the best of the best, the ultimate supremacist of fighters and warriors. Okay, they want to get rid of that because naturally a lot of us men are warriors, but we're trying to live a civilized lifestyle to where people can walk around, get educated, take their education, put it into business and stuff. But let's just be real, a lot of guys ain't made up that way. A lot of people aren't that educated, that intelligent, are able to take that knowledge and increase it that way, and then they refuse to at the same time. They refuse to learn anything new. They refuse to become that super intelligent being. No, they're based on, a lot of them are based off of physical strength and physical endurance. So they're used to fighting. That's why you got fighters. That's why you got MMA. This is why you got boxing. This is why you got all kinds of sports. Because some people are just made that way. They're just made to do sports, made to be athletic. You know, some people are just made to be able to learn and obtain knowledge like a sponge. If you're able to do both, then you are a superhuman. If you're able to obtain knowledge at a fast capacity and be able to take your physical nature and to increase it to where your strength level is beyond a normal human, then you are a superhuman. And the thing about it is, that should be something more taught than changing your gender. There should be a whole thing where you're taught to be the best of the best, to succeed at all costs, and don't accept failure. But don't let failure be a thing that makes you feel bad and you regret yourself. That's something they started doing, you know, like they start giving kids trophies even if they lost and stuff. That's stupid. You know, let kids know they lost so they can do better again. Like, I'll get them again, you know, I'll succeed this time. I will conquer, you know, things like that. But no. We gotta make them all soft and weak and things, and that's stupid. You know, someone's gotta stand up and fight the good fight. Someone has to fight for humanity, and the fight for humanity has to do with having good morals. And so the thing is, what is morally right in this whole situation? Is the public schools right by keeping things away from the parents, by teaching kids things about the world that maybe they shouldn't know, but make them aware of? But are they really making them aware of it, or are they trying to force it down their throats and back with indoctrinance that makes no sense? It doesn't make sense, and I'm saying things wrong for some reason, but that's the truth. It makes no sense. Is they morally right or wrong? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense because it doesn't make sense to me. But is it saying morally right to you? I don't know. Only you can tell me, you know. At the same time, it comes to another thing where here we got teachers who keep things away from parents. Parents find out, they're going to be mad about this. They're raising their kid. They want their kid, they got hopes and dreams all tied up into their children, you know, to make the kids succeed where they failed, you know, to make them conquer and not work as hard as they had to. You know, so many things that you want kids to achieve, and so many things you want with hopes and aspirations, you know. But yet, once again, is the parents morally right for thinking like this? To think that their kid should succeed, should become great, to be a kid? And for the teachers to tell them what's going on with their kids in school? I would believe the teachers are wrong and the parents are morally right. Because yes, they want to know what's going on with their kids and I mean, what's the whole point of taking them there? Because you can't teach them that. You know, you can't teach them, hey, you know, we want you to be who you are, and this is how you succeed in life. Instead of trying to say, hey, you can succeed in life this way, but you know what? everything biologically about you is wrong, and maybe you can change into this. That sounds crazy. It sounds illogical. It just sounds nuts. It's like we all just like like overnight Wonderland just grew up around us, and there's Mad Hatters and Cheshire Cats and crazy shit going on, and nobody knows what's going on because we're all wondering what the hell is going on. So that's why they call it Wonderland, because we don't know what the hell is going on. We're wondering about it. So unless there's Wonder Woman, then it's cool. But yeah, so I'm just saying, this doesn't make too much logic. And so the next point of it is, it's like we have an opportunity, we have an obligation to try to teach the future everything that's good about humanity, explain why everything negative in humanity happened, and try to prevent it from happening again. This is what should be taught when it comes to children. And so the third moral question here is the children morally right to let the teachers take control of their lives, or do they let the parents take control of their lives? Do the kids feel that their moral values lead anyway near the teachers or more towards their parents? Or does the kid just sit there and ignore all of them together? So that the whole kid's point of view never gets looked at either. So this is why I'm saying this right now. Should the kid either pick the parent side, the teacher side, or keep them to themselves? Me, I would just say the hell with both sides and do my thing. You know, but that's the way I think most kids, especially when you get towards the teens, think. Because they already have problems with their parents and everything. They think they know everything because they saw everything when they were little, but they didn't really step outside the door to go find out what's happening in the world. And once they do, they realize how much the world sucks, and they have to figure out ways to survive. And because they didn't get enough education, enough time to figure out the world, it all comes crashing horribly, and they make bad decisions, hang around the wrong people, and beady bam, back to regular grown-up adults that sit there trying their damnedest to make things right and have to put up with idiots and morons and bad lovers and just crazy bill collectors. And it's just like this terrible horror story. It starts off all nice and cute, and then it just turns into some demented horror movie where Chucky and Freddy Krueger are hanging out giving each other high fives and stuff, and then Ghostface Killer's really a hot chick underneath like the thing, and she's trying to stab you because she wants you. It makes no sense. It's all terrifying, the whole scenario. So because it's all terrifying, all this is just wrong. And the only one I can think that could truly make sense of all this is the great Almighty himself, the Almighty God, Almighty Jesus, if you want to say, however you want to put it. There's only one that can tell you what's morally right and wrong about this. But in my opinion, and this is a true statement, in my opinion, God created humans, and we're supposed to be the most perfected creature that he's ever created, the most perfect, in his image on top of that. Okay? So with that being said, most definitely God would say this was morally wrong, because he's already decided it's perfection. He done already decided it's going to be in his image. So to distress your body, to humiliate it, or how to say mutilate it, your body, automatically says you don't like the image of God. And if you don't like the image of God, then what else godly that you don't like? It automatically says that you're in line with the devil, okay, that you're running with the devil, you know, and that you're shouting at the devil. You know what I'm saying? You know, but the devil can't touch me with a 10-foot pole, and I even made him sell his soul. So, that was kind of just went off in a little thing there, but seriously, it's the truth. God created us in his image. We're supposed to be a perfect being. We're supposed to be, you know, one with the Almighty. So anybody that thinks this is all right, automatically I believe, and this is my opinion again, I believe by God that he thinks this is morally wrong, and you're automatically aligned with the devil. So it's a shame. It's a damn shame, and it will always will be. And so with that being said, I'm just gonna leave it there, you know, for your opinion. And if you guys wish to try to communicate about this and you want to, get at me and say, hey, Shelby, this is what I think about this issue, or this is what I feel about this issue, you should talk about this, then you should email me. Email is alphaprime 333 at gmail.com, and just go on and let me know what the hell is going down, and just leave me a message, put your name in there, and explain what it is that you want me to talk about, or whatever it is you feel about this episode. That way we can have a better communication. I want to know what my viewers think. And so, yes, please think about your humanity and what does it matter to you. And think about the choices that they're putting out there to tell us how to live our lives. Is it good for us or wrong? And in this case, I believe it's wrong. So, with all this being said, peace be with you all. Blessings upon you always. Have an awesome Thanksgiving coming up this week, and enjoy your days. So, farewell for now. Peace.